What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bruja Africana. So let's go ahead and get off into our next reading in that connection to the reparations and the fall of the hip hop gatekeepers. Let's talk about Diddy's drama, y'all. Let's talk about how Diddy's magic is wearing off. Remember, in a few readings ago, I told you all that Diddy was dealing with a sexual demon or a demonic spirit or energy that gave him powers to be able to control people. Well, that's wearing off. And there are a lot of people who are not afraid of speaking up about being victimized by Puff. Now, let's start where he learned the game. Puff was taught the game by Clive Davis. Everything Puff knows about being deviant to human beings comes from Clive Davis. I know y'all are like, well, what about Puff's father? Yeah, his father taught him some things, but keep in mind, Puff's father was taken from him in a violent way at a very young age. So he had no one else to look up to for that fatherly energy, so to speak, but Clive Davis. So when Clive Davis taught him the game, Puff took the game and he stretched it out a little further and decided, I'm going to use this to control my people or control the people that are around me, and take this same magic and use it to manipulate people the way that I know that Clive manipulated me. But I'm going to get some personal gain from it. And although Puff felt a way about it, he felt no way in a way of he wasn't going to not do this. So Puff took the game and started his own little chapter of the shit, all the while still remaining loyal to Clive Davis, the magician, standing in the background. The one that is telling him what to do, getting him out of trouble, the one that's teaching him or has taught him the game of finesse and playing in people's motherfucking faces. So Puff decides that he's going to take a tyrant's approach to what he's doing, a silent tyrant, if you will. Put on the face of the good guy for the public, but behind closed doors, he's definitely the king of swords in reverse, meaning that he's a tyrant. He's also very, very absorbed with the things that he wanted in the situation. Like I told you a few readings back, Puff began to become cocky, began to think that he was untouchable because everything that he did, he pretty much skated out of. I don't know if you are a hip hop fan from back in the day, or if you're one of these new hip hop fans that became hip hop fans during the pandemic. If you are, I'm gonna need you to sit this one out because there's a couple things that you don't know anything about, such as Puff using his magic and his influence and his power to waste the lives and ruin the lives of many of the R&B and hip hop artists that he signed under Bad Boy. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but in another reading, I'm going to show y'all how Biggie plays in this too, and how Tupac plays in this sea of bullshit surrounding Puff Daddy as well. But he decided to sign people and had no intentions on making their careers grow, wasting these people's talents, making sure that he presents things to them that it's like, yo, okay, if you sign with me or you fuck with me, I'm going to, make your career grow, da 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 da. You know the shit that Puff did. Y'all don't forget the flavor camps. And remember flavor camps because Usher's reading is coming up as well as Usher is mentioned in Puff's reading. But anyway, Puff is making all of these promises about careers and how far he can take them. But there's always a catch to dealing with Puff. See, when dealing with Puff, you always got to remember that he is the death card. So therefore, he's playing a hand that only benefits him in the long run. So he's made all of these camps and has been living this out of control lifestyle, this lifestyle that hurt human beings. Because I tell y'all what, 90% of what you're hearing about Puff is true. Regardless if you believe it or not, you need to begin to believe it. Because more and more things are going to come out about Puff when the more out of control this story gets. And here we are speaking of Puff and Young Miami. Remember in a reading I told y'all that he didn't want to offer her marriage just yet because he could offer her more by just being Carisha Brownlee versus being his wife? This is why. Puff can't take a wife because he's got a contract to this spirit. And through this spirit, this contract has to be honored through Clive Davis. But Young Miami, not being privy to that because Puff chose her. See, he targets people who come from hard situations or people who are hard up for money or who will do anything for money. And I love Young Miami, but this is the girl that she is. And this is how Puff was able to pull the wool over her eyes. He knew that she was easily malleable. You get what I'm saying? She's soft-eyed. She one of them girls. So Puff was able to present money and opportunities in front of her and wow her and sweep her off her feet in ways that no other man has because he has the power and the magic to do so. But he needs something in return from Young Miami. And y'all better believe that she has participated in some current events that have happened. The little producer, excuse me, that is accusing Puff of sexually assaulting him and saying that Carisha's cousin had something to do with it. This is absolutely true, y'all. The producer is represented as the Queen of Swords. Carisha is represented as the Ten of Swords because somehow she's mixed in with that. And of course, Diddy is the tyrant as the King of Swords. And Carisha can't walk away from. Well, let me just call her Young Miami. Young Miami can't walk away from the things that Diddy has had her participating in, even if she wanted to, because she's complicit in the shit. She's played a part in a lot of the things that are going to come out in the future, y'all, and we are not far off from it. Remember, I kept telling y'all, too, that she would do anything to stay in a position of winning and all of that. So even if it did hurt someone, because Carisha wants to win, Young Miami, excuse me, wants to win, she's willing to put Carisha in the back seat, so to speak. Even though with that Nine of Wands energy being there, she really don't want to be doing this shit. A lot of the shit that Diddy has mixed her up in, she really didn't want no part of it. And at the same time, she knows that she's hurting relationships that she once had. But she's under a spell with Diddy. She's under Diddy's spell. And she cannot get away from up under it. She is trapped with the Eight of Swords and the High Priestess card coming up because Young Miami doesn't know who she is as a woman. See, she always needed a boyfriend, and she got one. She said that spell that said she wanted to fuck with Diddy forever and ever and ever, and that's exactly what she's going to have to do because she's complicit in some of these crimes that he's committed against other humans. They've each used sex magic, to get the things that they want. And not only that, y'all remember I kept telling y'all that Kim Porter was speaking from beyond the grave in that other reading? I meant that. Here she is showing up again in this reading. This is what she was warning us about in that reading. I could not pinpoint exactly why she was warning us about Young Miami in that reading. And I know now. And now I know what she means by Diddy using Young Miami as a sacrifice. He's willing to sacrifice Young Miami to get what he needs or to save face, or he'll destroy her career right along with his. Because again, he made sure he taught her the game. And not only did he teach her the game, he taught Usher the game. That's why Chris Brown, represented in the Hierophant card, I know y'all like, damn, what does he have to do with it? Because he was around Diddy. That's why Chris Brown has been thrown to the wolves now. See, a lot of the things that Chris Brown has going on has a lot to do with both Jay-Z and Diddy. But we'll get to that when we speak in Usher's reading. But Puff uses a lot of mind magic to get over on people. Like I said, he targets a certain type of individual. One that he knows is easily malleable. One who is impressed by, you know, simple things. Things that, if you work hard enough, you may be able to attain them, or maybe they're out of your grasp and it's a delusion. But Puff does a lot of sex magic and a lot of mind magic. And like I said, he goes after people he knows that he can trick. Young, immature-minded people who are poor or hungry for fame, hungry for success. See, he'll take that hunger for success and pervert it, as he's done to so many other people. Look at all the people that were under Bad Boy. Look at all the people who have come in proximity with Puff. And look how stupid their eyes look. See, this is a look that Puff looks for. He looks for these people and he presents them with an opportunity. And he sits in front of them this lifestyle that they've never dreamed of. He, again, remember the fucking flavor camps. This is where he grabbed USHER up. And a lot of these people's parents are being bought by a lot of these gatekeepers as well. And we will talk about that in Aaliyah's reading. But anyway, Puff is presenting these people with these opportunities and this lifestyle and the opportunity to be amongst celebrities and buy shit that they've never had and no longer be in the position of being an outsider looking in, as the Five of Pentacles shows. See, Puff makes sure he take them around every fucking thing that they can't afford and things that they would never come in proximity to in their regular life, right? Give them a little bit of money, but he don't do too much for them so that he can keep them hungry, so that he can keep them wanting to be like, damn, my life is fucked up. Puff can really change my life. Like, Puff makes sure he puts himself in their position of being a savior or a blessing to these people. And he gives them a small seat at the table. And that's where Puff get them at. That's where that goddamn devil card show up. That motherfucking Capricorn moon that he got shows up and he got you. Doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. If he shows interest in wanting to have sex with you and use your body for his own gain, he's going to get you. And that's where he's getting a lot of these people. See, they don't expect to be caught up in these sexual deviancies with Puff, with that Three of Cups showing up with that devil card. All these people are expecting is a seat at the table to go party, to go kick it, to go hang out with celebrities, become a celebrity, live out their wildest dream of being a artist, a rapper, a singer, a model, whatever it is that Puff can put you in proximity of. And he does just that. He takes them to enough parties to butter them up and get them all primed up and ready. And then he takes them to that one party where the King of Wands, him, the orchestrator, the devil in flesh, shows up. And he offers them a choice. Most of the time, these people are taking this choice, which is how they end up caught up in Diddy's web, with the devil card being the connection there. And then let me show y'all the other side of it. Those men that he's signing, he's only giving them the option of, if I give you this, you're going to have to give me some ass. And a lot of these dudes with the Ten of Wands energy are going in there voluntarily bottoming out and being power bottoms for Diddy, just because they're making a choice, because they think this is what I need to do to get my music played, to become famous. This is what they said you got to do. You got to put a dress on. You got to suck some dick. You got to do some shit that you ain't never did. And they are letting this man go in their ass. And Diddy has no intentions on keeping any of the promises that he's put before them, because they're only used for one reason. And it is for sexual magic purposes. Diddy over there stripping people of their dignity and ain't giving them shit in return. Which is why things are starting to fall apart for Diddy. Which is why we are learning so many things about things that we didn't remember or realize were going on with Puff. Like I said, if you grew up in the 90s, you pretty much know that a lot of this shit is real. All of this shit that's being said has been whispered about for years. He's just now getting caught. This is the things that have been in the air for years. Nobody's working against Puff, but people are not working with Puff anymore. See, these people that are not aligning themselves with Puff anymore are people that once were in Puff's circle, people that are also complicit in this whole circus of human degradation that has been going on for the past 30 years in hip hop. Now, just don't think that everybody's going to come forward, though, y'all. I forgot to mention that a while back with the Devil card and the Eight of Swords. A lot of people are going to choose to remain quiet because they are too complicit in these details that are coming out with Diddy. There are some people in there that ain't got shit to say because they know that either they participated in some of this wild sex shit or they benefited from it in some kind of way. So there are going to be some people that are going to be quiet. Them ain't the people Puff worried about. Them ain't the people that he's even concerned about not working with him anymore. The people that he's concerned about is the people that were in the circle sitting with him, that are fighting with him, that are no longer pouring energy into whatever it is that he's trying to accomplish. Because Puff is sitting back angry now. He's like, it's a fight amongst the brotherhood. We all are in this secret society together, and we all, damn near all of us, have participated in this. Those that have fought against it, we all did something to make sure that they couldn't continue to rise, just like they're doing Chris Brown right now. But anyway, he's like, oh, so everybody's going to turn their back on me after we were working together. Puff is in his feelings about this because he like, I did not do all of this shit by myself. Or y'all ready to hear the rest of what the fuck everybody else did? Puff is sitting in a stalemate. He's like, look, you niggas is trying my hand. You niggas is acting like y'all wasn't in this shit with me. And I want y'all to notice in that Nine of Swords, there's a time clock, or excuse me, there's a clock sitting there. Puff know his time is running out. And he in his chest and salty about his time running out for being the man on top. So Puff is trying to make a decision. Is it time for me to go ahead and go public and ruin these relationships or ruin the relationship hip hop has with the community? And that's exactly what he's getting ready to do. See, these questions are being asked, but he's thinking about the perfect time to strike. The perfect time to strike a knife in hip hop's heart because he feels like hip hop has betrayed him. Despite him being the devil incarnate, y'all. I told y'all people do not take responsibility for the shit that they do. But Puff feels like he needs some get back. Hip hop has turned its back on him. The relationships he used to have now failed, so now he's getting ready to destroy some people's homes, honey. There are going to be some relationships and marriages destroyed behind the things that Puff is getting ready to reveal. Puff says that, hell, if I'm going down, I'm not going down by my motherfucking self. And if that means that I got to ruin some families, then so be it. Because y'all niggas was doing the shit with me. Puff is really, really upset and embarrassed that people is, trying to shit on him. And he deserves it, rightfully so, y'all. Don't get me wrong, he deserves it. But he feels like, yo, since y'all trying to turn on me, I'm about to embarrass hip hop, and I'm about to embarrass families, and I'm about to embarrass marriages. So Puff getting ready to get in a stance where he getting ready to start spilling people's tea, honey. This is not the end of this situation, although Puff is going to be the one getting more embarrassed because more stories are going to come out. But I want y'all to keep in mind that Chris Brown has a target on his back by the gatekeepers, okay? Puff is complicit in the downfall of Chris Brown. Is that downfall coming? Chris gonna fight hard to war against this. But I want y'all to know that some of these stories coming out are orchestrated by Puff because Chris Brown didn't want to get down with that shit. Or maybe Chris Brown was down with it once and he's left that lifestyle alone. There's a thing about people leaving that lifestyle and going back to things that are traditional to black people versus being involved with these demonic sex demons that Puff has running around and rampant through him. So maybe the thing is, and the connection with Chris Brown in the situation is, he used to be in this lifestyle with them, but he's walked away from it because he has kids and shit now. And he's grown up. And they don't like it. And he's the next man that's on the chopping block. Oh, but he ain't alone. There are women that are going to be chopped down too. Stay tuned.